Good evening and welcome to the New Moon in Capricorn reading for January 2nd, 2022. And I'll be covering the Eastern Standard Time of this reading, which is occurring at 1:34, 45 seconds, p.m. And that's out of New York. So please adjust. If I mention houses, please adjust for your area as the houses will change. But I like to include the houses because I feel like it is a time stamp that wants to be recognized. And we know this in that the moons are very important to the well-being on Earth and help with nature controlling the systems and weather and tides, and of course the menstrual cycles of women. The moon has been known to bring moon madness upon people. So we do live in a dual world where there is light and there is dark manifestations of these energetic footprints. So I just thank you again for joining me. And without further ado, I want to go ahead and get into this. The theme continuing here and going into 2022 is a look at our earth energies in the different signs that we have seen and will continue to see heavily in the earth signs. So we've got a Capricorn new moon at 12 degrees, conjunct the sun. And whenever we have new moons, this is a time of new intentions and a time for expectations and placing things out and beginning our energies in an area. And with this being Earth cardinal intentions, the energy is seeking for us to have already been grounded. You see, the last Earth sign is Capricorn, and it is cardinal, and it has achieved and wants to achieve and has Saturn working in its favor to help or not, depending on the transits to your chart and, of course, the sky map here, wanting to help us put these structures and the boundaries around what things? Around earthly things and earthly relationships with this Venus conjunct Pluto that we've been talking about for the past, month, and how Venus comes up, the planet of relationships and wanting harmony and beauty, comes across and directly to Pluto, which is death, transformation, deep inner healing. And it's in earth energies asking us to cardinally, in Capricorn, go forward and make these attempts. Make these attempts to change the way that you see possessions, second house Taurus, things, your view of money or psychological view of money, things upon this earth. And we're seeing a lot of systems and a lot of structures, Pluto and Capricorn, tearing down the old and trying to build this new. We must keep the moon in its modality, which is cardinal, in its elemental configuration, which is earth. In order to use this energy, we have to understand it's not a passive energy. And the moon in Capricorn is cool, and it is a serious moon. And it is a moon where the mind wants to keep its innermost feelings under control. So this is a serious approach. and a person that knows how to accept their responsibilities. This is Saturn, the father, Capricorn, especially towards the family. Opposite fourth house of Cancer is Capricorn. Other people are inclined to look to you at this time as well, perhaps for support. And it'll give you the inner strength and the ability to maintain a cool head under pressure here. But you're definitely ambitious with this moon, or needing to be. It's asking us to be ambitious for advancement. The goat moves up the mountain. Now, it's conjunct the sun, and of course, this is going to change the way that the moon expresses itself and the way the sun expresses itself. This is a self-motivated, self-contained, and integrated person here who is unaffected by others, including their partners. And you can be subjective with this moon and sun, but disinclined to really, extend yourself to other people. You're beginning to perhaps set these new boundaries that needed to be placed, and beginning to rise up in your own earth cardinal energy. And I'm telling you, the themes of these moons were all about grounding last year and staying grounded in the midst of such incredible change, and all about our relationship with earth energies, things on the earth. Those bring us security. And when those things get shooken up, it can be really, really challenging. So I want to read the Goldsmith Revised Sabian symbol here for this degree of Capricorn, and what this new moon's energy is stating according to the Sabian symbols. A military commander interrupts a long hike with orders to set up camp. Later, he stands by the campfire discussing battle plans with his lieutenant. Competence, getting things done, getting people to rally behind one's cause on the basis of one's reliability and one's loyalty to the group. Overcoming distrust and dissension versus bullying people in serving one's agenda. Assuming a leadership position among peers, or identifying and following a natural leader within one's group. Problem solvers, getting the general lay of the land before focusing in on particulars. Collecting data and boiling it down to something simple and usable. Analytical clarification. Okay, so this energy here is not emotional. Remember, we're in a Capricorn casing with this moon. Analytical clarification based on the elimination of extraneous factors. Confident step-by-step elimination of obstacles to progress. Organizational skills. Setting up a company or a social organization that meets unfulfilled human needs. Serving one's country as best as one can. So I don't think that it's coming across here as like, bow to the United States flag and, have an unbalanced, quote-unquote, patriotic view of your country. But I think what it's saying is, where you are, begin to put strategic plans into place about how to implement these past changes and all this stirring up that we've had, and begin to develop an approach that perhaps you didn't, and this is new intentions. And so I have two intentions that came out of a Law of Attraction Oracle deck that I have when I did a reading for 2022 and this new moon, because it's coinciding just too closely to the new year. It's asking us, look, new year, new month, new moon. New year, new month, new moon. This is very important energy coming in. So it's communication, my first intention. I effectively communicate and clarify my needs in order to achieve my goals. So, it lines right up with this Sabian symbol here of communicating what's up, coming up with solutions, working with others. And support is the other intention. So communication, and the second one is support. I surround myself with supportive people who believe in my dreams. I surround myself with supportive people who believe in my dreams. I can't tell you how important that is going into 2022. Capricorn represents the major arcana card in the tarot, the Devil. And you can see it there in front of you. So any cards in the tarot that represent Saturn and represent the Devil. This is where perhaps we need to look at our earthly instincts, our the way that we are on Earth, the way that we behave, so to speak, on Earth. 15 reduces to a 6, which is a number of success. So once you get through these energies and balance them, the Devil card, you'll come out the next card, which is the Star, and you'll also be 6, which is a mark of a leader. So the Devil is a card of indulgence in material pleasure, attachments, restrictions, commitments, and limitations. And when this card appears, there's something that you do that perhaps feels good, but it's not good for your health or your well-being. So this is speaking again to opening lines of communication, getting the support you really want in your life, cleaning house in relationships, cleaning house in the way that you do money, feel money, view money, have money, and things that are attached to money. Getting your security in a better place by addressing number 15, the Devil. And that, that's just our lower nature. It is, the things that we shouldn't have another glass of wine, and we shouldn't charge shoes on a credit card, and we probably shouldn't just have sex just to have sex, but we do it anyway. And so it's calling these things out in Capricorn energy and asking you to go to the higher energies of Capricorn and not to be so disconnected. Earth energy isn't really concerned as above. It's below. It's here. It's got its eyes on the prize. Saturn, 10th house Capricorn of career here. So it's asking you to kind of step away from the way that you've been seen with this new moon, the way that you've been doing these things, and to maybe look at where they've brought you to a place that hasn't been enriching and brought life and brought abundance. And, most of all, importantly, it hasn't brought you inner peace. So it's asking us, where do you need to let go? Where do you need to break free? Where do you need to set better guidelines? Where do you need to make arrangements? And again, it is 6. It reduces to the common denominator, which is the number of harmony, balance, love, happiness, service, social responsibility. It's leading the way in the daily habits. It's the 6th house, Virgo, leading the way in the earthly daily habits of how we should be and how we should act. It's also the Lover's card, which is the harmonized version of how our relationship should be on the earth. And there's a star on that card, and stars are a symbol of hope and wishes and guidance and illumination. And the flames stand for the sun's energizing power that can warm and it can heat so much it can destroy. And the flames also are symbols of transformation and creativity. You've got the wands kind of being represented here. And think your way out of this. Get your way out of this, so to speak, with that competent, Saturn's there to help you. So wherever your Saturn really comes into play with this new moon. And flames can also represent things that need to be burned away and aren't pure. So it's kind of like the trial by fire going on there. And you see these people are chained together. And chains represent limitations, restrictions, and codependencies on people. With the grapes, that is fruit from which wine's made, of course, which is going to bring in the pleasures and the luxury. And grapevines climb towards the sun. And so it's a fruit that represents ambition and rewarded efforts. Ambition and rewarded efforts. So there's abundance on this card if you would but look. It's the first chakra, which is the root chakra, and the second chakra, which is the sacral. And the root is red and the sacral is orange. Some stones that I highly recommend having around you until the full moon in Cancer coming in later on in the month is obsidian, hematite, and jet. The colors black and beige. These will allow a balance to come in to your world, and they will center you. And what I wanted to do quick here was also take a look at Saturn and how Saturn plays really big into the Capricorn energy. Okay, so Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun, and it is the 2nd largest planet in the solar system. And I'm not going to go into all the details on Saturn, but I did do a podcast with my buddy Anthony called All Things Esoteric Podcast. You can find on YouTube as well. And we're out there, and we're on Facebook under All Things Esoteric Podcast. And we are just currently going through the planets. And we just finished Saturn, and it really gives you a strong base on what Saturn's about, how to work with it in your chart, how it's working in our society now and in the globe, and how you can harness this Saturnian nature that comes with Capricorn naturally, and its self-control and limitation. You know, you're able to say no, you're able to see your boundaries really well, and because you're doing this, you're maturing. And the associated cards with this is the 5 of Wands, which is Saturn in Leo. And this card is about competition, brainstorming, problems to solve, and conflicts. So it's a very powerful card, as you can see. People, working together, or are they not? The wands are budding. So the next card is the 10 of Wands. In here, we see Sagittarius in Saturn. And this card represents burden and obligations and being overwhelmed, too much, carrying too much. Also responsibility where, it's like it might be time for you to carry the wands. It's all how you are receiving this energy and how it speaks to you. The next card is the 8 of Cups. And you can see there, this is Saturn in Pisces. Cups represent water, so Saturn in Pisces. And this is a spiritual quest and a leaving behind, taking space, retreating, and travel. And so it's asking you to walk away and work on that water is how I always see the 8 of Cups. Go in there and really work on the emotions, really work on your intuition, understand how your emotions impact relationships, how your emotions can impact relationships. The 3 of Swords is the next card. And here we see Saturn in Libra. This is one of the toughest cards people think in the tarot. It's difficult to look at. But this is about loss and sorrow and betrayal. But it's necessary. It's a difficult loss. The end result will be success. And it's communication that needs to be had, or communication that was. This is air energy, Libra. air, it's the mind, the soul, the breath of life, things to do with communication. And the other, Gemini and Libra are the air signs. So, card is the Seven of Pentacles, and that is Taurus in Saturn. And this is assessment and patience, trial and error, what worked, what didn't work. I laugh when I see this card because it reminds me in my garden, well, that didn't work. I'll try it a new way, and getting my soil right and all the things that go with gardening, right? And it's feedback. It's listening, watching, growing, and listening and editing. It's grounded Taurus Earth. It's fixed, and it's sitting, and it's focused, and it's asking you, what can I look at here to work with and change, and how do I need to maybe rearrange? The last card is the World card, and it is the last card in the Tarot. And this is complete integration. It's the full circle of the Fool's journey from 0 to 22, having gone through all 4 suits and all of the core cards. It is a wholeness and a earth connection. It is the epitome of Saturn. It is asking us to know that if we stay on this path, well, I should put it this way. It is saying if you stay on this path and you apply, you can have the world. I really do believe that what we think about most, we become. Who we spend our time with most, we become. What we listen to, we become. What we read, what we eat, what we smoke, what we consume, what we listen to with our vibrations, all is one and one is all. And if we would perhaps look at life from a more holistic perspective and not just, well, this is my stomach, it hurts, and maybe not look at why your stomach's hurt, maybe look at why your stomach's hurting. Perhaps it's unresolved conflict. And if you bring peace into your life and meaningful relationships, and you have the communication that's clear, and you have the support, people are supporting you and believing in your dreams, it changes everything. And this is what this energy is asking us to consider, and to really take a close look at how we can go into this new year in a more grounded and Capricornian way of being ready to build. Being ready to build and being ready to have the stamina to go up the mountain. I just want to encourage you to listen to the messages of the moon and what it's trying to tell us in this new moon, and really take some time, as this moon is occurring in the 8th house at 12 degrees. So anywhere in your chart that you have this 12 degrees, you want to take a look of Capricorn, because that's the area that wants to be addressed, and that's the area that will be activated. You've got this beautiful sextile, moon and sun, over to Neptune. And of course, Neptune is in Pisces, and that's going to give us the strong interest in mysticism and, question orthodox religions and, spiritual experiences and escapism. And, this is where we can just go a little bit too far off, because it is in the 10th house, which is Capricorn's home. It moved through the 10th house, it's now in the 11th, but it had gone through there, and then the new moon happened. Incidentally, Mercury changes signs as well into Aquarius at this new moon. So you've got some energies here working very strongly with you. It's Neptune sextiling Venus, it's sextiling the moon, it's sextiling the sun. So it's giving this expansive openness and this more top-down view of our relationships, and saying, okay, I'm going to take this energy that's been afforded to me, and I'm going to find ways to make my surrounding, my home, my space sacred. And so with that, I thank you for listening, and I look forward to bringing you the full moon in Cancer. And I did want to say I apologize for not being able to do the video last full moon video. I couldn't do it, guys. I've had this ascension flu and been in and out of, I thought it was COVID. It definitely isn't. It's definitely these energies that are coming in, and I'm having some very, very serious personal transits, big ones that occur like once in a lifetime kind of things, occurring within my own chart. I just tell you what, my mind just could not focus on anything. I was so in the fog. It was really crazy. I had vertigo, severe vertigo, where I thought I needed to go to the doctor. And so I just want to encourage you, you're not going crazy. If some of these things you are feeling and sensing, please, please know that being grounded and staying in center is so important right now. Drink a lot of water and get out in the fresh air. And even if you only walk across the yard, just walk. Get out and feel the energies and put your face up and receive these downloads coming in, because they're beautiful. And I have shed some karma in 2021. That's what my year was about. And it has been incredible. And I just ask that we will go into 2022 now with clear minds and clear hearts and profound intentions of good communication and support of one another. Namaste, beloved.